we go. We are back. Don't forget, on the 16th, Wednesday the 16th, this coming Wednesday at 6:30 p.m., we are coming on the air at 6:30. 7 o'clock, we are going to be joined by Dr. Carol M. Swain, one of the best conservative voices in the United States right now. Let's go back to the screen and take a look at some of the stories that I have for you tonight. Here is a great one right here, and this one really gets me pissed off. This particular story comes to us from the Blaze. If you haven't been to the Blaze and you don't partake in what the Blaze has to offer, and that would be conservative news stories, well, you are well and truly damaging yourself. You need to get over to the Blaze and see what they have to offer. I mean, it is absolutely spectacular. Hold on one second while I do this. Oh, I'm on the wrong screen. There we go. That's better. Air Force pilots have been granted whistleblower status after refusing to fly potentially dangerous F-22s. But are they being punished? Now, you know what? I love these new airplanes are coming out with. The F-22 is one of my favorite planes. During testing, and I subscribe to a magazine. It's called Code 1 Magazine. It's put out by Lockheed Martin. It's like their internal rah-rah sis-boom bomb magazine. And it's got a lot of technical features about the different types of aircraft they're building. Code 1 Magazine. Lockheed Martin. Look it up. Do a Google on it. It's a great magazine. I read all of the F-22 design articles and blogs and everything else, and I must say these guys did a excellent job of designing the airplane. Unfortunately, there are some electronics problems with the airplane. So during the testing of the airplane, I recall this article specifically, they sent up one F-22 Raptor against a squadron of F-15 Eagles. The F-22 shot down all of the F-15 Eagles, and the Eagles did not see the F-22 at all. It was a stupendous display of modern electronics. Unfortunately, there appears to be some very, very significant issues with the aircraft, which makes people wonder, why exactly did we send those aircraft over to the Middle East recently if they're busted? You gotta wonder what's going on there. I have heard rumors that they have Chinese parts in them, and the Chinese parts are failing. Whether or not that is on purpose, who knows, but it's up to you whether or not you trust the Red Chinese, the prodigy of Chairman Mao, the people that are only allowed to have one child, the people that kill baby girls because they need more baby boys than baby girls. So anyways, the Air Force pilots are granted whistleblower status after refusing to fly potentially dangerous F-22s. Let me check one thing right here. Yes, we are still have good audio on that. Okay. This is by Liz Klimas over there at the Blaze. This is posted on May 11th, 2012 at 9:20 p.m. There is a picture of two F-22s. The top one is got the camouflage, and the bottom one is the regular one. So there you go. That's from Wikipedia. That is an Air Force image right there, the F-22 Raptor. As recently as February 2012, one of the Air Force's most expensive planes, the F-22 Raptor, was experiencing problems with its oxygen system, causing pilots to experience symptoms that include difficulty concentrating and blackouts. Well, that's not a good thing when you're flying at like Mach 1, having difficulty concentrating. Let me reduce that just a touch. There we go. The plane has had a long history of problems with the system, with 12 cases of hypoxia reported from 2008 through 2011. And since this is a video-based show, we are going to go ahead and look up what hypoxia means right here on the show. And here we go. There we go. We're going to do a Google search for hypoxia. Hypoxia is a medical condition. We're going to go over here to Wikipedia and take a look at it. I don't care if you don't like Wikipedia. They do a pretty good job of policing the articles. Hypoxia is a pathological condition in the body as a whole, or a region of the body, tissue hypoxia, when it is deprived of adequate oxygen supply. Variations in arterial oxygen concentrations can be part of the normal physiology. For example, during strenuous physical exercise, a mismatch between oxygen supply and its demand at the cellular level may result in a hypoxic condition. Hypoxia, in which there is complete deprivation of oxygen supply, is referred to as anoxia. So, the pilots in the F-22s have been getting cases of hypoxia. The plane was grounded twice last year for such issues. In the latest saga of the faulty system, which no one seems to be able to pinpoint exactly what is wrong, well, it's not creating enough oxygen for the pilots, is that two pilots have spoken out and refused to get back in the cockpit. They have been labeled as whistleblowers. But even with the protection that comes with that status, the Air Force is still reprimanding one of them for speaking out. Let me turn up my monitor here. Oh, okay. Now I can hear myself. That's much better. It sounds like I'm actually doing a show. Let me see here. Wired reports Captain Josh Wilson and Major Jeremy Gordon with the Virginia National Air Guard are the only two pilots that publicly refuse to get back in the planes. Gordon's flight qualification has since expired, but Wired notes for Wilson, whose career is younger, the Air Force has moved forward with disciplinary action that could ultimately bring a premature end, even though he is protected under federal law as a whistleblower. Here is how Wired magazine explains it. The Air Force sent him a letter of reprimand that Frederick Morgan, the two pilots' Ohio-based lawyer, says is just the first step in a potentially career-ending disciplinary process. Get rid of that right there. In addition to seeking legal counsel, Wilson and Gordon appealed to Representative Adam Kinzinger, himself an Air Force pilot, for protection under federal whistleblower law. Kinzinger and Senator Mark Warner issued a letter Thursday urging the military not to mess with these pilots or any others that bring up problems with the Raptor. Now, let's talk for a minute about what is going on with the Raptor. When Obama first came into office, if I recall correctly, he canceled the Raptor program. In other words, they didn't build any more. Let's go over here. Let me take a look at here. F-22 Raptor canceled. Okay, here we go. Lockheed Martin. Da-dum-da-dum-da-dum. Okay, here we go. Here, should bring up an article here. I'm not going to bring it up until we have it for you to see. There we go. Let's zoom in on this. This is from May of 2009. Yes, President Obama did cancel the program. While Defense Secretary Robert Gates' decision to halt production of the costly Lockheed Martin Boeing F-22 Raptor low-observable stealth fighter is perhaps not the best long-term strategic decision he could have made, it's certainly understandable. Given the U.S. government's and thus DoD's current money crunch versus the high cost and lack of combat utility in Iraq and Afghanistan, cutting the Raptors program reported $3.5 billion dollar per year cost certainly has some logic to it. So, what's wrong with canceling the Raptor? This article continues. Well, for one thing, we finally got the production costs down to approximately $143 million per aircraft. If they cancel the F-22 Raptor program at 187 total aircraft, 56 aircraft short of the 243 aircraft the U.S. Air Force had stated as its requirement, the F-22 Raptor will really come in somewhere around $350 million apiece. So we can see that in 2009, apparently by accident, Obama actually did something correct and canceled the F-22 Raptor program. Like I said, even though it is a very nice airplane and I like it a lot, there apparently are some serious issues with the aircraft. Let's go on with the Blaze article that is at theblaze.com. Theblaze.com. The Air Force acknowledges the protected status. Air Force leadership has made clear that we are treating the pilots as whistleblowers. Yeah, sure. Like they follow the rules of anything else this administration does. There are the two pilots right there, Wilson and Gordon. Apparently that's Wilson on the left and Gordon on the right. The guy on the left there, he looks pretty scared if you ask me. Josh Wilson is his name. CBS 60 Minutes reported Sunday that Wilson and Gordon are two of 22 pilots qualified to fly the plane, but they may not be the only ones who have chosen to stop. Just the only ones that came out publicly. And that, my friends, is probably why they are being targeted by the Defense Department. And that is because they did it publicly. They like to keep things in shop, if you know what I mean. So, there we go. On to our next story, which is, let me see here, where does this story come from? Hold on, let me get that up on the screen for you guys so you can see it. There we go. I believe this comes from Infowars.com. That's Infowars.com. According to a United States Air Force document, drones can be used to spy on Americans. Go figure. Yeah. Incidental surveillance data can be held for 90 days. And that's why, ladies and gentlemen, well, I don't happen to have one with me. But, ladies and gentlemen, when you go outside, you want to make sure that you wear a hat, okay? Wear bulky clothing so that the drones have a harder time recognizing you, and thus the operators of the drones have a harder time recognizing you. There's no sense in making it easy for these idiots to collect incidental information about you. Let's go back to the article. And there's one of the there's one of the drones right there. A newly discovered Air Force intelligence brief states that should fleets of unmanned drones accidentally capture surveillance footage of Americans, the data can be stored and analyzed by the Pentagon for up to 90 days. Don't run any red lights. Don't jaywalk. Don't speed. Don't run any red lights. Make sure you come to a complete stop at the intersection. Don't go walking out with your girlfriend. Don't do any target practice in your backyard. Don't use your bow and arrow for target practice. Don't go in your swimming pool. Don't do anything in your garage. Am I missing anything? Well, you can pretty much figure that the what's the name of that TV show on the Discovery Channel now, or the History Channel? What's it called? Moonshiners. That show's over with because the drones are going to be spotting them too. So basically anything that you can do indoors or out, you can't do anymore unless you happen to be sitting 150 feet underground like I am in our well-protected broadcast bunker. So there you go. The instruction, dated April 23rd, admits that the Air Force cannot legally conduct non-consequential surveillance on Americans, but also stated that should the drones incidentally capture data while conducting other missions, military intelligence has the right to study it to determine whether the subjects are legitimate targets of domestic surveillance. Well, let me ask any representatives of the NSA or the Department of Homeland Security or the Pentagon that happen to be watching. Let me ask you a question. Who in the hell gave you that right? Where does that right precipitate from? Where does that right come from? No, you don't have the right. And quite frankly, I'm tired of hearing the sound clip of Obama saying that the Constitution is a set of negative rights for the government. You darn tootin'. Sorry, I said a bad word there. You're darn tootin' that it's a set of negative liberties for the government. That's what it's supposed to be, you idiots. Good God, I can't wait until November gets here. Okay, let's go on to our next story and get some real conspiracy going here. I pretty much decided that I'm going to go ahead and put this one up on YouTube too. Just to get everybody pissed off. And in a couple of days we're going to get the knock at the door from the Department of Homeland Security. It's going to be like that Saturday Night Live skit, flowers, pizza, land shark. That's some of the things that you can do when you are a professional broadcaster like me. Sorry, I couldn't do that with a straight face. Anyways, let's get on to the next story here and get some real conspiracy going. And now we're going to get some real conspiracy theories going here. Here's one I like a lot. Death Chain, the Antarctic HARP activation. Yeah, I actually I don't like the HARP devices because even though they say they're doing them, they're doing this stuff for research. What happened to that fella on YouTube? Oh, and I'm having a brain freeze. I can't remember his name. There's a fella on YouTube. I'm sure somebody will remind me shortly exactly what his name is. I've actually interviewed him before. He did a lot of research on the HARP rings that you see on what they call the HARP rings on the weather radar, and he was talking about that a lot, doing a lot of videos, and magically his YouTube channel got canceled, and an SUV pulled up in the front of one of his friend's houses, and they walked in and shot his friend dead while he was sleeping. And that pretty much ended that little career that he had going, and that's why we're being a lot more careful than that. At any rate, there may be something to do, maybe something to all of this HARP stuff. I don't know. I'm more worried about the issues that we have with the chemtrails, the chemical trails that they put up in the atmosphere. Okay, here we go. And I don't know if this is a fake story or not. We are going to go and we're going to do some research here in a second. I'm going to show you how to do research on stories like this. This is by Terrence Ime at PacAlertPress.com. That is PacAlertPress.com. Researchers worried about the weaponization of the Global High Altitude Atmospheric Research Program, HARP network, suddenly have much more to fear. The Russians, Chinese, and Americans are racing to power up their Antarctic HARP facilities and bring them online. Once the newest HARP stations are fully activated and linked into the intricate HARP grid, the power can be exponentially expanded. Forget nuclear arsenals. HARP could become the most fearsome force on the planet. So let's go up here. Let's grab this person's name here and copy it. Open up a new tab. Paste that person's name in there and see what we come up with. There's this person on Twitter. Is a writer gaining recognition about me on Helium. Articles written by him on Helium on Facebook. Oh, he's on Facebook. Let's no, I'm not going to log into my Facebook account. He's on Pack Alert. Mysteries of the Multiverse on YouTube. And apparently one of these pictures might be of him. Apparently he's written some books. Or not. It's hard to say. Let's look at his Helium page and see what's there. And this is just essentially how you do a little bit of research. Mysteries of the Multiverse is now available in the United Kingdom. International author Terence Ime will be a guest on these upcoming radio shows. Poetry Being Trapped, Poetry Nothing, Short Stories She Was Gone, Short Stories Horror, Short Poetry Leftovers, Short Stories Making Choices, and a bunch of other articles there. Let's take a look at his let me see here on Amazon.com, if this is the same person right here. Let's see, the most important person in my writing is you. Okay, there we go. And let's see what his books are. Mysteries of the Multiverse, 25 True Stories from Time and Space. Isn't this the guy, if I'm not mistaken? Let's take a look at the book page. And let's look inside the book. There we go. Mysteries of the Multiverse, 25 True Stories. It was written in 2011. Portions of this book were previously published. Okay. Let me see here. Time Traveler's Footprints Found. Scientist builds working time machine. Deadly vortex appears over Antarctica. Time shift, the monster in the mountains. More time shifts. Ships that refuse to die. And laser death, 6000 BCE. So this is very interesting stuff that we have here. How many pages are in here? Well, apparently, okay, let's see if I can, well, let me see here, if I can actually get this to, okay, we're going to get this to zoom in just a little bit. Let me read a little bit of this book to you. This is, what is this this called? Mysteries of the Multiverse. This is this Terence Ime guy that wrote that article I was just talking about the Antarctic HARP activation. The probability of time travel existing is high, and once time travel is achieved, then it exists throughout time. Scientists such as physicist Stephen Hawking and Michio Kaku believe time travel can be achieved and may be inevitable. Inconvenient artifacts would be, let me see, the fossilized footprints that people have found. Lost super civilizations, ancient astronauts, or time travelers. Okay, so we can pretty much see what type of articles this particular person writes. So we can get back here. Apparently he's a pretty good author. And let's get back over here. Mysterious structures are appearing at the bottom of the world or cropping up like mushrooms in a forest after a downpour. What's going on in Antarctica? HAARP is going on. 3 competing superpowers are in a secret breakneck race to be the first to control the world's ionosphere. So you can see here that let me bring that over to the screen that has the whiteboard on it. Let me bring up my color selector here. Okay, we're going to take that and move that down, and then we're going to go up here and click that, and then we're going to click the color selector, and there we go. You guys can't see that. You can see the entire network of the HAARP transmitters, I guess you could call them. We have, let me see here. Hold on one second. We have the HAARP in Norway, right there. We've got the HAARP in Alaska, right there. We got the HAARP in Peru. Another HAARP in Brazil. Got one in Puerto Rico, Long Island, Area 51. Well, you know Area 51 is going to come in here somehow. You got them in Australia, Japan, China. You got the Russian HAARP. You got the UK HAARP. And there you go. There's a different HAARP transmitters. Many researchers delving into the Byzantine labyrinth of the world of HAARP conclude that the network, let me zoom out here a little bit so I can actually read this, conclude that the network of ionospheric manipulators is nothing less than a diabolical technology, a perversion of Nikola Tesla's early 20th century work. Malevolent machines engineered for a dual purpose to unravel the mysteries of the ionosphere and then hijack it. The discordant harmonies of the HAARP war may be the casual factor behind mass animal deaths around the world. Now, you know, I've heard that before. There apparently is one of the HAARP transmitters. That is the Chinese Zhouzhong HAARP tower. There is the Chinese HAARP array right there. There is the Norwegian Russian HAARP array right there. There is another one right there, Norwegian, and there is the European Parliament. International organizations investigating the more sinister aspects of HAARP include the European Parliament Subcommittee on Security and Disarmament. During February 1998, the Parliament held a public hearing addressing their concerns over the HAARP technology. Sadly, 2 things are occurring at the same time right here on the show. One is the show's about over, and the other one is we essentially don't have any information. We don't really have any physicists or experts that can tell us about HAARP and what HAARP does, other than the people like Terrence that wrote this article. And that is very, very sad, because we do need more information. Number one, either to tell us that what these things actually do, and whether or not they can actually do damage to human beings and the planet around us, or number 2, that they are in fact not an issue. So that is very interesting. I am going to do some more exploration into the subject of HAARP now that I am on it, and it's interesting me. So that concludes tonight's episode here on Surrounded by Idiots. This is actually working out pretty good. Let me get up here, go down here, and go here, and see how how this is doing. This is actually not too bad. Let me take a minute and explain how this stuff is working for you guys, so that you can see. Let me see here. Let me take this and move it there. Let me take that and move that up there. And shoot, you can't really see it there, can you? Let me remove that. Take this, add a screen region right there, and see if that'll actually pop up on here. And no, it won't. That really is too bad. I have a oh, you know what I could do? Hold on one second here. There we go. Let's see if that appears. And yes, it does. That appears on the screen. Very good. Okay, let me remove that again. Go right here, take the screen region, and go like that with it. Right there, just like that. And now, of course, there we go. And take this and expand it just like that. There you go. Normally, when we're doing the show, and as you can see, let me stop moving the mouse around so the CPU load settles down. Normally, when we're doing the show, this let me see here. Let me get rid of that. There we go. We got rid of that, and we have that there just like that. Let me move that down like that so I can explain this a little bit better. This right here is the load on the central processing unit. It is a dual-core AMD processor. Normally, when in the past, when we've done the show, we've had the browser open and everything else, and go into all of the different tabs and everything like that. We get we get the choppy video and the choppy sound and everything like that. But apparently, we have been able to solve that. We have been able to solve that in several ways by doing some encoding tricks. If anybody would like to find out what those encoding tricks are, just go over to SelenETV.com, click the Contact Us button, and send me a note, and I'll be sure to tell you exactly how to set up your streaming software so that you can do the same. Do the same thing that we're doing here. Let me close that out, and that'll lower that down even more. Let me close that, and that'll lower it down even more. You can see normally you like to have only about 70% of your processor being used. You can see it's using about 8. It's going anywhere between 70 and 80%. We are streaming at a fairly high rate right now. Let me take a look here. Yes, the video quality, I'm monitoring it on another computer. The video quality looks actually quite good right now. It is, in fact, pretty close to, for the size of the screen, a high-definition stream. And we are able to do that without any problems whatsoever. And you can see we're only at about 80% of the CPU capacity, which is great, because in the past we've been up at 100% and haven't been able to stream anywhere near this quality. So the efforts that I have put forth are actually working out pretty good. In fact, I'm going to strip this part of the show out and make this a video by itself. So if anybody wants to know exactly what to do as far as streaming high quality video goes, you can just go ahead and use the Contact Us button at SelenETV.com and look around while you're there. See if you want to become a member of the site. We would appreciate it if you did. That way we can help wake people up here in 2012. So until the next show, which is probably going to be Monday night, when we're going to do our final test of this this new system, and before our big guest comes up on Wednesday night. My name is Bill Zam. Thank you for watching the show. I appreciate it. And if I don't know, I'll see you guys later. I'll see you guys maybe tomorrow night. Have a good evening, and thank you for watching the show.